coming here to our live stream with this podcast, Happy at Work. My name is Tatiana Koval, and in our podcast, usually we discuss different topics about people-centric approach in our business and our people management. And today, my guest, Ana Mendonça, she's from Portugal, and now we will discuss happiness and how it connects with employee experience. Hi, Ana.
Hello, thank you for the invitation. It's really a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's unfortunately for my Brazilian and Portugal friends, we will speak English because I think there are a lot of people from different countries who will watch us also. But I hope in the future they could use our video on the YouTube channel for translation. Today we decided to use English for discussing this topic, employee happiness. Anna, but before we are starting, could you share your professional experience and tell a little bit about you for my audience? Because I hope that after our meeting, a lot of people decided to follow you.
Okay. Well, my name is Ana Mendonça. As you said, I live in Portugal, and by now I'm working in human resources for the last 26 years, which is a long time so far. And since 5 years from now until now, I decided to leave the corporate world, not living as I was not liking or enjoying to work in the corporate world, but I just decided to come as a consultant and start going to the companies, giving my knowledge, or at least bring some knowledge of all the companies I work with. And therefore, this is what is my last 5 years of working right now. And I work mainly with leadership, happiness, as you said, with mentoring, career mentoring, and a lot of things related to human resources, which is people. We are changing the name from human resources to people, so we tend to speak about the people in that sense of being human and with all the things, the human professional and the human of human being.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. I'd also like to use a people management and then a human resource management because it's not just the world, it's just the point of view on how we work with the people in our organization, the persons in our organization. But because I found you because you also write a lot about employee happiness, and I decided to start firstly from my question about what is employee happiness for you. Um,
Okay, what is we have the employee experience, the employer branding, and in the middle we have the employee. Employee happiness is the feeling of the employees feeling happy. But I did some studies around the happiness. I usually like to say that working with the happiness is working the wanting to be, not the well-being, but giving the sense to employees that they want to be here in the company or whatever where they are, with the good and the less good. And this is for me the symbol of happiness, that they feel the good, the less good, and then they can perceive that they are happy. And I think that most of the things that we see in the sharing of a lot of people that speak around happiness, we see like activities and things that the companies offer to the employees so they feel happy. But in the end, the sense of happiness, it's quite unique. You know, when we have 200 employees, we have 200 people feeling different feelings because they have also their lives, their challenge, their feelings, their frustrations, and therefore, for me, happiness and employee happiness is giving them the best that we can as a company, even though that the company cannot always give the goods, because we also have to be, a company needs to be sustainable. We have to have rentability and things like that. And sometimes we need to decide what we will invest our time and money. And therefore, not always we are investing in the happiness, or at least giving things to employee. But what is really, really important is each thing that we do in a company, even when it's not good things as we would like, doing in the best way. Okay, because after 26 years working with people, of course that I had all the moments of the company. I hired, which is a great process where someone receive a good news that they will start a new career with a new company. I did some career movements. I did a lot of training and things that employees perceive as good. But also, I also had the other parts that as restructuring, sometimes I will use this awful word, fire people, but sometimes it's needed. At least arrange an agreement and live lives apart. And this is also part of employee happiness and experience.
Uh, Absolutely agree with you. It's sometimes when we fire the other people, it's maybe bad in the beginning, but then it could open a lot of new opportunities and new life for our employees. And I want to add on one of the conference about happiness, it also was important words I have heard. It's what is important for us. This is the intention, what we do and with which intention we do something for our
Exactly.
employees. I think
Exactly.
it's very also important for you.
Yeah.
And I want to come and for discussing employee experience and employee
Mm-hmm.
experience connection with employee happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, how could you explain the connection between these two important things, which with which we could work like HR or like a people managers?
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, I think that when we work in human resources, we have, some path. This employee experience is like a path that we have, that we follow some order. And we know that we start doing this employee experience right now before the employee is hired, which is the employer branding. We, as long as we need someone to join our company, the big issue is to do the recruitment and have the best people we can find and that we can pay, because sometimes we have a lot of good people, good candidates, but we have like our own salary base and we cannot hire the top performers, but we need to hire the employees that we can achieve. And for that, the employee experience needs to start before the employee join the company. And this is, like you were saying, all the things that we communicate, not only for our employees, but also external. We need to be like, be very truthfully, because if it's not, our employees will perceive it, and also the ones that will join will perceive it right away, because the experience already gave me this learning, which is when someone arrives and it's quite happy because they are joining a company, they saw a lot of good things and they share this kind of good things. The other employees that feel it's like a lie, not a lie, but like something a little bit more huge than it's really is, they tend to tell. And this is where we can start losing our new employees. Then the employee experience is like, each stage of the employee in our company needs to have a purpose. you have the employee joining, you need to teach and to teach all the things regarding our rules, our principles, our vision, mission, purpose, which is quite important. And we, for any reason in the these years, we lost a little bit this kind of importance of this kind of message of the mission, vision, purpose, and then give them all the information that they need to start doing their job properly. And if you don't give them this kind of information, they will start their role by asking everything, which tend to give them the sense of I'm not coping with what they are expecting. And this is the moment where people are joining, and there is a period where it's a learning curve and the person needs to
Mm-hmm.
learn a lot. Then you have all the things regarding the career path, what you will give them as a future, and you need to have these structures so you can teach them what they need to do so they can achieve a little bit more career, or what they need to learn so they can start looking for new roles within the company. And for that you also need to have like a specific plan that you can teach, and also that you can give the chance to the employees to come and ask, can I do this training, can I join this group, can I do something to bring a lot another information besides my job. And this is quite important that you have in this employee experience. Then more and more we start asking employees to become part of the decision making, and this is also a very important thing, which is when you have some, for example, you have the surveys, so you can have a sense of what employees are feeling regarding a lot of things within the company, and afterwards you have the results, and sometimes the results are not the ones that we are expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And more and more the companies ask the employees to join like focus groups so they can also bring their ideas and also be the owners of new ideas, that they will also be the sponsors. And as they are the sponsors, they will be the first ones to advocate in a good way. And then of course you have all the cycle of employee evaluations, the salary increases, all the things that need to be related, so the employees sense the moments and the momentums, and also understand that those kind of big moments that HR asks the business to do, sometimes they are at the same stage at they are doing their projects, and sometimes they feel like they are wasting time. And what we need to do to give them the sense is that it's not a waste of time. This time that you think you are wasting, it's a way to start having a feeling and a purpose for all the things that we are doing. And therefore, as you said, and well, it's giving them the sense of purpose of each thing that we implement, and the sense of why we are doing this.
Mm-hmm. Anna, I have another questions about balance. As you said, it's very important to engage your employee in all the life cycle, and also pay a lot of attention for improving their productivity. And what is the right balance for you? And two things. First hand, investing in employee and improving their happiness at work, and the other side, improving the profitability of the company, because we need a balance between these two things. If more people focus more and more and more and more, so we could lose our business goal. So
Yeah,
this is the
of
first
course.
question. And the second question is, what is the right balance? As you said in the beginning, where all of us as an individual have their own sense of happiness. So we have a lot of individuals in the company. We want to improve their happiness because it could lead us to the improvement in productivity and business performance. But what is the right balance between investing in the an individual approach in one hand, but usually we need more and more investment if we handle with every person. What is the right
Mhm.
balance between individual investment and common approach? How we could balance this is about balance between two sides:
Yeah.
person as
Well,
business and individual approach and amount of investments.
yeah, I think that today in the morning I was talking with someone and I was telling that person that in the beginning of my career, I was like the human resources centric person, which is like I was more keen to have my people well and trying to perceive their happiness in an individual way and not having the business as my present sense of common. This was in the beginning of my initial experience. Then I already had a lot of experience in business. I also had the chance to work within a startup for 10 years, which we started with two people, and in the end we sold the company. And there you can start to see the people are important, but if you don't have business, you will not keep the people. And therefore, for me, the balance is like I need to have the company well, with a good rentability, perceived, because sometimes I feel this also with the leaders that they tend to look only for the millions that they have in the end, and what we factor, the end of what we sell, but what we need to see is our return on investment and also our EBITDA. And this is the importance of all the things that we do. Because if we don't have the company in a healthy way, even if you tend to do things to the employees, it will not be, in the same tune. And therefore, for me, the balance is first to have the company in a health environment, looking for the things in a straight way, so everything is okay. Of course, that nothing in our life is only good. We have also the other parts. But then when we have these parts well oriented, then we can go to the people and try to work around their happiness. We can go for their individual happiness, and for that more and more we have like flex benefits where you can tend to go for each individual desires, but also try to give them a sense of a good environment where they feel okay, not they will be happy, because happiness is a strange thing. We tend to see someone happy like someone that is smiling, that is in a like a party, they are happy, smiling, and this is not happiness in the sense of the companies. Happiness is that you wake in the morning and you feel like you want to go to the work. Sometimes you will not feel like you want to go, and it's okay because it's normal. It's good. It's the same as the marriage. We can be married for 20 years as I am, but sometimes I'm happy and some others I feel like, oh my goodness, what I'm doing here. And this is normal, and we need to perceive this like a normal thing. We have good and less good moments, and also our life also bring us some challenge that take us the happiness that sometimes the company want us to have, but we cannot have because we are ill or someone in our family are not feeling so well. And therefore this will be brought to the company. And even 26 years ago, I think that I remember to work in companies where you said like, your problems stay away of the door. Okay, I don't care if you are having or facing some challenge. We don't care. This is for work, and then afterwards you will work with your challenge. Now we are asking employees to bring all. And when we ask them to bring all, then we need to manage all. And this is also not so simple, because we need to know that someone is not in a good stage of their life. If someone is ill, we need to know so we can at least support these moments. But at the same stage, we need to keep asking them to give us what we expect them to give, which is their work, their effort to achieve the goals. And this is what, in the end, the companies needs. The companies and the peers, which is also, even we think that we are only evaluated by our managers and leaders, we are also evaluated by our peers, because if you don't give enough to your role, someone of your peers will need to do whatever you are not doing. And therefore, most of the times, they will be the first that will point to you and say you are not coping with what we are expecting from you. And therefore, we need to manage all these, emotions and feelings and efforts in a balanced way, but knowing that if you don't have the company, you will not have people there. And therefore, I will be more focused on the company in the first stage, and then I will be more keen to work the people and all the environment.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely agree with your approach, and because you have a huge experience. My next question is about mistakes. Usually, we
Mm-hmm.
don't like to share our mistakes, but for me, it's a really strong thing for development. If you
Yeah.
analyze your mistakes, reflecting about them. So, which mistakes you met in your professional life and companies or some managers could do if we talk about employee happiness and
Yeah.
connection between employee happiness and employee performance, company performance. Uh, could you share your
My
ideas?
mistakes,
Maybe
my
your
mistakes
mistakes, or maybe
or
mistakes of any other
others.
people
Okay.
that you
I,
manage,
I
and
can
maybe
share my
you need to
mistakes.
fix them in the past.
I think that the first thing is perceiving the mistakes. We tend as a human beings, and also there is another part, which is the culture, because you have cultures where the mistake and the feedback is well perceived and well received. You have cultures and countries where the feedback is perceived as a bad thing, and therefore we have this first thing that we need to care. And in Portugal, I can say that we are not so keen to receive feedback, because we tend to perceive the feedback as a bad thing, because sometimes the feedback is only used to give bad feedback instead of also giving a good feedback. And therefore, we need to manage the feedback process so everyone is keen to receive feedback. Usually, I do some trainings around the feedback, and as I said, a feedback is like a gift that someone gives to you, like a mirror, but you can receive it. You don't need to justify anything that the person is saying to you. You just need to listen, perceive what the person is seeing from you from the outside, bring the offer, and do whatever you want with that offer. And we are used to do the other way around, which is, if you give me some feedback, Tatiana, I will start to answer by, well, you didn't understood well, because I intended to do this and I intended to do that, and therefore you will lose the feedback. For me, my big mistake in my life was, I can tell you, is in the beginning being more focused on people and less in the company. And I think this is a big mistake of human resources professionals, because then we tend not to speak the same language. And that's why here in Portugal, you tend to have a new role, which is human resources business partner, which give us a little bit more knowledge of the business, because we really need to know the business so we can use and work all the things that human resources needed so they can integrate in the business and the results. Then I think the big mistake is, for example, not to understand the feedback as a gift and trying to look for excuses why I did this or that, instead of perceiving, well, it's true. If they perceive that, even it was not my intention, is something I'm doing wrong. And since I start doing this, and even now I'm working as a consultant, an external consultant, in those 5 years, I learned so many big lessons, such as when you start by doing pro bono because someone asks you, well, I need you, but I don't have money to invest. And you go and you say, okay, I will do that because afterwards perhaps they will invest. And this is not true. They will not invest. And what they will do, if you don't continue to give your work, they will find someone else that will give by free. And suddenly it happens something with ourselves. You start to perceive yourself as a person with no value, because you tend not to give you a proper value. And this was my big mistake that I learned by experience, but now I understood it well and I'm more focused. If you need someone as with my my abilities, you also need to pay, so you can understand what you are asking. Your investment, you will ask for my return on investment, and we will all work with a purpose, because everyone needs money. Besides the rich people, they don't need money, but even those, they need money, okay, because we need to be paid for our work. Then I think that most of the people, instead of listen, we think the problem is always in the other side. And I think this is the big mistake of everyone. And also, if we don't share, we tend not to accept the mistake. And the story of a lot of big companies, they already teach us that a lot of big mistakes, and big mistakes, we are talking about things that were big investment of money that they lost. Afterwards, they learn really good learning lessons, and they started to change and become more profitable and understand the mistake as a good way of learning. And this is something that we start doing, and also why we don't put it in our evaluation. We only evaluate the good things, we say the less good things, but perhaps we could put there, let's evaluate your big mistake and talk about it as a way of learning, and not only learning for that person, but also the sharing of that learning, so the others will not do the same mistake. And I tried here in Portugal some years ago to create a group of entrepreneurs to share their mistakes to new entrepreneurs, so they could not, have the same mistakes as the ones that starts a business, but they could have another mistakes and then come to the group and teach those mistakes that the others never perceived. And this is a way of learning by doing, more than learning by just listening. And I think this is something that we need to change in a cultural way. And this brings also with the education. We need to educate our young people by perceiving the mistake also as a good thing, even it's not so good, but also the frustration of managing a mistake is also a learning experience. We need to, to learn to live with the frustration. Otherwise, you will be frustrated for all your life without knowing why you are a frustrated person. And this is a big thing, but I think that we need to do a lot around the mistakes.
Absolutely agree with you. And Anna, my next question is maybe some you give us an idea about community where we could share our mistakes, and then we talk about this. I remember I was in one of the conference. It also was a conference about happiness. It was very interesting. What they invited a person, a CEO of company, who tell about one tool which they use in the company. It is a tool about fuck up meetings. And at first,
Okay.
they start from the CEO. He come to the in-place and started to share his mistakes. And
Uh-huh.
after that, they create this culture and also use this tool like a special event that everybody could come, share mistakes and share lessons learned. And my next questions for you, could you share maybe any other ideas, not just in the about these things, but also for creating more people-centric culture that also they balance with the business goals. So maybe some interesting tools which you implemented in your previous company, or maybe some interesting ideas which you could see in companies with whom you worked with as a consultant. I think with life hacks could be
Yeah.
also
I
useful for the audience.
Yeah, I think the most useful idea, which is not, it's not a tool, but the most useful idea I usually bring to all my clients is create a communication process, which I can guarantee to you that most of the companies are missing these parts. All the issues, all the problems that they have with the management, with the leadership, with survey results. They are all around the communication, and saying communication is lack of communication. And therefore, I think that the first thing is trying to bring to a place all the important information that we need to have in a place where everyone can see and everyone can at least understand. Then I had a very good experience 5 years ago when I started this new journey, working in a self-management new way of working. And this is a new way of managing companies without leaderships, without leaders, without managers. We all are part of a company. And in this process of transformation, a company, a traditional management style to a self-management style, what I perceived as really a great tool is the collaboration and co-creation, which has rules. We can only have employees being co-creating and cooperating without giving them a lot of information around the company. And usually what happens is that your leaders, they have more information than the information they share with employees, because there is a other issue, which is the power. Everyone likes to have power, and the power usually comes with information, the information that you have that the others don't have. And therefore, leaders, they explain more or less what they know, but they don't explain all the picture. And when this happens, the employees in their roles, and they can be roles, in the bottom of the hierarchy, or right beside the CEO, if they don't have the information, they need always to ask questions and to wait for some direction. And in this period of time that you are waiting, the competitors can have their chance to be better than us. And therefore, my tool is to be more open with the communication, Also, what you said about your CEO, the fuck up meetings, we have a lot of meetings where we don't do anything less than wasting our time and life, because the time you lose, it's life you don't live. And I also had some trainings, and I did some exercise around these with my clients about having very good meetings and quick meetings, because quick meetings are the ones that you prepare before, you send information before, and you go there just to decide, not to being there for the one that has more information to feel like power, and the others feeling like you are the god, and God blesses that we have you in our team. And this is something that for so many years happened. You know, the leader was like the gods, the one that everyone would like to follow. Some others we didn't like as leaders because they were really bad leaders. But even though they created this scary culture, you know, the scary culture of if that person call us to his room, it will be a nightmare. And therefore, around these years of having the leader as the hero and the leader as the most awful person, we were like following. And now, and even the new generation of employees, they want to be part of the process, not being the followers, but being also the persons that do the change. And therefore, my tools and my advice, if I can give some advice, is to stop, to look what we have, to start changing. It can be simple things, you know. It can start with simple things. Usually, we try to change a structure or create a big process, like complex process, because if we create a complex thing, is like we are really an important person. And my experience taught me that simple things, they can do huge difference in a company, and they can do really a tsunami in a company. And it might be just having a meeting every single Monday with employees, asking them what you need from me, what kind of decisions we need to take. It can be only 10 minutes, but they can be the most powerful 10 minutes that you have. And therefore, my advice is simplify less than create a complex thing so everyone will feel like you are a very important person, which I think it's not the question, you know. When you asked me to present myself, I didn't talk about the bee, as you know, and I will bring my bees because I have a lot of bees with me, and this is my brand right now, which is not so long ago. I started using the bee as my brand, but the bee, we usually, when I present myself, I don't say that I was an HR manager before or I worked in this and that company. Usually I say my purpose is to be like what the bees does. They pollinize by leaving pollen around the fields, and sometimes that pollen, if there will come some rain or there will be the hot or some water, you will have the flower. And therefore, my intention is to go to the places, leave the pollen, and when they are ready, not when I think they are ready, because sometimes the consultant, we think that we know everything. We don't, because we need to give them space to perceive all the information that we are giving them. And then when they feel it's the right time, the flower will rise. If the flower will not rise, it it will not mean that we did something wrong. It only means that they didn't need that pollen, and perhaps they will need another pollen, and it's okay. And usually consultants, we go to the companies and we go there and we do this and that. You need to start doing this and that, because this is the future. And this is not the purpose way, the right way to go and to be consultant. We need to go there, listen, give them words, because when you are in a company, you don't have enough time to come and go to the conference to see what others are doing around happiness, or meet someone in a networking lunch or dinner, because we want to go home. And as they don't have time, what we do as a consultant is go there and say, well, I have a lot of time. I go to a lot of events, and I can bring you a little bit of world, and then you use it or not, but it's okay.
Mhm. Absolutely agree with you. As a consultant with a huge 20 years experience, what we could not give more than our clients are ready to take.
Yeah.
Anna, the time is coming so quick. Thanks for this fruitful conversation. And usually at the end, I ask one question to all my guests. I says, based on our conversation today, based on the topic which we discussed, could you share three quick tips, the main tips which you could give to the companies, to the managers, to the HR managers who want to implement ideas of the employee happiness approach, improving the employee experience at the company, and also have a balance of the business goals. What your three
Okay.
quick
Well,
tips?
the first tip is live the present. Now is what you have. Okay, the past already passed, and the future we don't know it. Therefore, live the present and do your best with the information you have right now. You can predict the future, of course, but live the present. Then be grateful for all the things that the company, your peers, your leaders give to you, so you can improve by yourself. Don't think that the company in charge of your happiness. Your happiness, the charge of your happiness, it's yourself. Okay, and this is also a tip. Don't wait for others so you can feel happy. And even if you feel lack of some information, go there and ask. Don't be scared of asking. Usually what I say to all the people I do some mentorship is go there and ask a question. The no you already have by not asking the question. Therefore, go there, ask. If they will say no, you thank and come. And perhaps they will give you more, because they are not used to be, asked, or someone go there and ask some questions. Therefore, is live the present, be grateful for what you have, and know that you need to follow your own path to be happy and to be part of the company. As company, my big advice is to be truthfully, which is tell the real story. If you are facing some trouble in your company, share. Sharing some challenge of your company will not give you less power, or will not give the sense that you are doing wrong something. What will give is the sense of everyone will feel that will be in the same boat, and therefore I think my last tip is give the employees the sense of being in your boat, not in another boat that you are trying them to cope with your boat. We are all in the same boat, and if the water is coming, we all together need to take the water out. And if we are falling to a certain goal, it's everyone goals. It's not only the goal of one, and that one need to share to the other, so each one can do their best in their small tasks or small roles for the altogether of the company. And therefore, I think those will be my 3 tips and a lot of communication. This is the big tip.
And thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for this conversation. And I want to say that thanks a lot for all the people who are joining us and listening this podcast and commenting during the period of live stream. Thanks a lot for sharing your knowledge, for sharing your approach, and for sharing your experience with my audience.
Thank you for the invitation, Tatiana.
And this is podcast Happy at Work and hope to see you again.